I played with GP, I played against GP. He just didn't care. And the crazy thing about GP on the court, he was like that off the court. Like if he saw you in the mall, maybe that time I caught you up, big fella. I gave you that thing, you went up there, and you almost put your arm out of socket.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far, and welcome to the end of the month. End of November, we're heading to December, and it's gonna be Christmas time. Wow. I don't know about you guys, time is flying for me. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but man, every week, every month, it is going by fast. Anyways, so it's the end of the month. It is time for the third rendition here, I believe, of Open Court. And this one is titled The Curious Tales of the NBA. Yeah, it's going to be a long one, you guys. So I'm not going to do a long intro here or anything. It's NBA Open Court. It's classic. If you know, you know. I had a lot of requests to do this over the course of like a year before I started doing this, as at that time we were still going through the NBA 80s and the NBA 90s. But anyways, without further ado, Open Court, round 3. Let's go. Guys, this is coming from a channel called NBA Open Court. I'm going to link it down below in the description for you of this video. You also see a list of channel members. Shout out channel members. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, it's going to be a super long video, so we'll do our talking while we're going through it. Also, anybody commenting on something specific, please use a timestamp. That way, you know, we know like what you're referring to, because this is going to be a long one. So anyways, like the video if you could. Hit that hype button if you could. It all helps out. And let's just do this.
Charles came to play tonight.
Also, super shout out to members because, you know, more than likely this gets copyright claimed. No surprise.
Retreats to the three-point line. Weber imploring the crowd.
Kenny Smith hitting the three.
Oh, man. Can't believe it's about to be December.
Here by Steve Smith.
Welcome to Open Court, Curious Tales of the NBA. I'm
Let's
Ernie
go.
Johnson, and if you've been watching this show here on NBA TV, you know it's fast gaining popularity worldwide.
Man, can you guys remember when NBA TV first came out? Like, it was the coolest channel ever. NFL Network as well. Man, those were good times.
Simply because of the high caliber of expert analysis that we present each and every time. Four-time NBA champion Shaquille O'Neal heads our panel. The Hall of Famer, the Dream Teamer, Charles Barkley is here. One of the all-time great clutch shooters in NBA history, Reggie Miller, 5-time All-Star and former Rookie of the Year.
So how many rings we got here? We got 4. We got 5, 6. Did Steve Kerr win? Did he win 5? Did he win 2 with San Antonio or 1 with San Antonio? I think he won 2. So I think we got 5. So we got 4, 5, 6. Sorry, you guys. Plus 5 is 11. I think we got 11 championship rings here on this panel.
Chris Webber, in 14 years, he was an All-Star and an NBA champion. He is Steve Smith, 5-time NBA champion with the Bulls and the Spurs.
5-time.
Steve Kerr, and finally,
I could have just waited.
2-time NBA champion, the crop duster, Kenny Smith.
Come on now.
Once upon a time, it was the Jet. In this segment, we asked the question.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
That was good. Took a while, but worth the wait. We asked the question, has the big man vanished from the NBA?
Oh, wow. So, wait, they're asking this. Let's see. This was in, we do 2017. Is that right? No. So the channel came out later. I think this was like, oh, man, 2000, I would say like 2003, 2004, something like that. Help me out in the comments, guys, if you know. When did NBA Open Court come out? Oops. And they're talking about the big man being vanished at that point. Never mind. I'm so off base. Shaq is retired. So it might be 2017. By that point, yeah, the big man was pretty much vanished. I'll get a better feel of it when they're starting to talk about players. for whatever reason, when they introed it with, about the NBA TV network, I was thinking about this coming out when the network came out itself. But way off
Never get
base.
tired of looking at the old video of the rim being destroyed by Shaquille
Shaq.
O'Neal. How many times did you do that?
Probably like 10 or 12.
Was it that many times? No, it was 2 or 3 in the NBA.
I just had to add some barbecue sauce to it.
Joe Underhill, our underdog, our ace stat man, points out that in the last 15 years in the NBA, the only true center is you to score, to average in the top 5 in scoring in the last 15 years. You're not counting Amari Stoudemire, not counting Tim Duncan, but in the last 15 years, only you, Shaq, in the top 5. Where have all the dominant big men gone?
You could either say they have evolved, or you could say they fell off. A lot of different experts will say different things. Me, I was a power player. When I was playing in Phoenix Sun, I used to tell Steve Kerr was the general manager, I wasn't born with the gifts you were born with. I don't have the ability.
That was my line.
I don't have the ability to step outside and shoot the jumper. But if you're a fan of the game, I guess you could appreciate a guy that's supposed to play center like a Dirk Nowitzki, but you see him step outside and shoot the 3, drive to the hole, create for his teammates. So again, either they fell off or they evolved.
I mean, so much in sports is cyclical in nature that that'll come around again. Are we going to see a time again where every team has a big man or tries to have a dominant big man in there in the middle?
By the way, if you guys wonder why I support Wemby so much, it's because I want him to be that guy that Ernie is describing here. A guy so big, so dominant that it forces everybody to go big again.
You may, if it's because of defensive presence. But I think the game is so quick and so fast now. One thing about Shaq that was underestimated was that he was just as quick as a guard. He wasn't fast, but I mean, when you have the ball here and you want to do a James Worthy move, a spin baseline or something, you can shake someone to go the other way. For me, they came in the NBA, they wanted me to play center. I weigh 245 pounds, and I'm 5 inches shorter than, or 3 inches shorter than most centers. And for me, checking a guy like a Shaq or checking a big dude and playing the center position, I felt I might have a chance offensively because I can use quickness and things like that. But for the game, wearing down, banging down, me going to help, and I'm the biggest guy. Now a guard has to rotate to him. I think that, one, you have to be really big and good. And so, you look in the NBA at him and Dwight Howard that are big guys. I don't know if you'll ever see that type of presence, and the style of play has changed too.
I mean, but when you look at the game, and I think we've had this conversation before, when you used to watch Kareem and the undefendable skyhook, you wonder why hasn't another player come along with that kind of a move lately that would just make him an unstoppable force?
Once again, I've been asking for Wemby to learn that move. Talk about the most unstoppable thing ever in the game of basketball. If a guy that big, what's he, 7'4", 7'5", is going to be able to have that move with that high release, forget it. Game over, man.
Reg?
Well, first of all, Kareem was born with that shot.
Right.
I mean, that's something that, you think about. Even Magic Johnson, to a certain degree, tried to emulate and copy it, but it still wasn't the same.
No, it's not the same.
Sky hook. That's one shot that will probably never ever be duplicated.
Yeah, that's why we called it a baby hook. It was like halfway there.
At 7 foot, that was one shot that could, you throw it down to the guy down in the post. There's no way you're going to be able to defend that. But to me, and to go along with Shaq, to me the game has evolved. The notion was that you had to have a dominant center to win championships, and that's not the case. And personally, to me, I think the change really started in '92 with the Dream Team and in '96 in Dream Team 2, because if you look at the European big men, it's not as dominant as a Shaq or a David Robinson or a Hakeem Olajuwon down low. They're more pick and pop players. Now that they're in the NBA, that's where the game is starting to evolve.
I think as of late, Reggie, definitely to echo that, the zone defense right now prevents a big man from dominating. And I think also big man coaching. I mean, if you go around, and I think everybody goes around and watch coaching kids, everybody's teaching crossovers to big guys. No one's teaching post moves, the fundamentals. And, we don't glorify a guy rebounding anymore, playing defense, and then playing down in the post. I think that's the lost art. I don't think it'll ever be the dominant big man again, because when I came to the league, Chuck, and watching you guys before me, it was 5, 6 guys on every team that was 6'10", 6'11". I don't think you can find but maybe 10 guys that play the post position now.
But a lot of you said is
real quick for me, because I've watched this whole evolution as well. Like, I think we just the NBA player, like the NBA teams, went one step too greedy when it comes to the 3-point shot. Like, I get it, 3 is more than 2, and I want to shoot more threes. I may not like it, but I understand the math and I understand the mentality. So in that case, like, the limit for me would be 4 out, which is four shooters out there on the perimeter, and they're doing their thing. But we still need one guy in the middle. We need one big giant guy in the middle who can run fast. That's my requirement. You got to be able to keep up with the speed of today's NBA. However, you got to be a big dominant guy. You know, that's why I'm looking at a guy like Wemby. But my problem is even when you got a guy like Wemby, for the most part, he's on the perimeter. They're doing it to him, you know? So I don't like having a gifted giant player like that and treating him like he's a 6'2" guard, you know? Like, he can get that 3 ball off anytime he wants, but let's go for a better percentage look. Plus, we want him down low to get the rebounds because the other 4 guys are chucking threes, right? So somebody needs to be down there to dominate the rebounds. So that's the way I see it. I don't think I disagree with Steve Smith a little bit here. I think you can still do it. You just need to go 4 out, 1 in. That's it. Not 5 out.
Chuck's fault, though. To me, it's Chuck's. No, it's your fault. It's Magic's fault. It's Dr. J's fault. No, in a great way, because I'm tall and I'm young and I'm watching you. I'm like, oh, you know, after the dunk contest, you try this. So in 21, you try a crossover move. We saw you go full court, behind the back and dunk. You telling me power forwards don't want to do that now? You know, it was like, oh, wait, I can do that? Wait, he can actually do that? And I think that's been part of the evolution, too, the fact that you've seen some really tall, big players do some crazy things, and you want to be the type of player that they are and see if you can get that skill.
Yeah, but Charles Barkley not tall. He's somewhere between 6'4" and 6'6". No one seems to really know. You know, it's a constant debate. So he's not that big of a dude. Honestly, he's a shooting guard size. He just happens to be able to dominate in that power forward position.
I don't think the big man has disappeared or vanquished. I just think that there's very few guys who are that big. You know, it's a bunch of players who are 6'10" in that range, but there are very few guys. All the guys you mentioned as great centers, they're like 7 feet tall. I don't know what it is. There's very few players as big as Shaquille, as big as Robert Parrish, Kareem, and those type guys. I mean, there's just not that many big guys in the NBA.
And on top of that,
go ahead.
There's very few that are that big and really athletic and skilled. You know, Shaq was one, obviously, but you know, you look at all those.
Steve is that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Those guys that we saw in the highlights. There've been very few great big men in the history of the NBA. There's always sort of like 3 or 4, even back in the 70s. It wasn't like there were 10 or 15 great big men.
Now, when you're 6th grade and you're 6'2", you know, they don't put you in the post. When you when you were younger, growing up, Shaq, there was no question that he was going to play in the post.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard is probably someone who throws back into that time where you're learning how to play with your back to the basket.
Absolutely.
But Kevin Garnett, as Shaq said, Dirk Nowitzki, these guys were taught to play with facing the basket. So it's really about scoring areas. You're dominating it.
Do you guys agree with that? Because to me, I watched their whole careers. They were the most dominant in the post. Dirk had that turnaround, one-legged fadeaway, but that was a post move, much like Jordan's fadeaway. And then Kevin Garnett also, he had that Kevin McHale post, you know, turnaround high release jump shot. So I think they did play in the post, Kenny.
Game, but from different position. Dirk Nowitzki dominates the game. He's a dominant player, but now instead of dominating it from a certain area of the floor that are traditionally a big guy, 7 foot area, he takes guys into a space that they're not comfortable being with, and that made his success come. That made Chris Webber's success come because he took guys in the areas of the floor that they weren't accustomed to being in, and all of a sudden they can't move their feet.
See, I just don't like his examples, but I know exactly what he's talking about. Just picture Joel Embiid, and that's exactly what he's describing. Somebody who plays face to the hoop as opposed to back to the hoop, you know? And then he's got more ISO moves and step-back jumpers and all these things that are modern. But you rarely see Joel Embiid play in the post, unfortunately, because he'd be a monster.
Well, Kenny, let me ask a question to the panel. You know, everybody goes to Akeem, and obviously I would too if a big man, but where would a college kid go? Where would a high school kid go that's a big man? Everybody can't go to Akeem. Most of these kids now in college, they don't have coaches.
No, they have Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett,
right,
Dirk Nowitzki, 6'10" guys who put it on the floor. So they're going to emulate that. There's no question about it. You emulate what you see. And
yeah, it's true.
Because of the European influence of where they've taken the game, because their bigger guys started playing on the perimeter first, it became a better visual as well for a lot of guys.
In all due respect to Dwight Howard, who is probably the best big man in our game today, we'll never see this again. A guy that dominated from block to block. Because like you're saying, what everyone's doing now is they're going to ESPN, to TNT, to NBA TV, and they're looking at how can I
Shaq would be a small forward if you
How can I get on TV with highlights? We'll never see this again. It's all about highlights now. It's not about dominating. It's about looking good.
Yeah. So how do you get on the highlights now? You just it's and also who are you watching? All these big men. You're chilling on the wing or you're chilling on at the top of the key, and it's the weirdest thing in the world for me. But you're a big man going ISO at the 3-point line. It's oh man, it's a hell of a way to get injured, man. Because big men, they have issues with their legs. That's part of the reason why we plant them in the post. It's very hard to get injured with your back against your defender, backing him down, and then turning around and making a jump shot or dunking the ball or something or a layup, whatever's given to you. But now you're going to go face to the basket at the 3-point line, very far from the basket. Do some ISO moves between the legs, dribble, double step back, and then do a fadeaway and then land on those legs. Yeah, it's a way higher probability you're going to get injured, especially as a big man. We see guards getting injured, but for the same reasons with these moves. Talk about a guy who's like 150 pounds heavier than these guards. Yeah. Whenever I see Joel Embiid's game, that's all I see. I'm just like, oh man, every time he does a step back three, I'm like, oh, like I'm waiting for the crunch, the crunching sound of bones just shattering. Wemby, I don't like that I see him doing it either. I really don't like seeing it. I'd like to see a little more Shaq in him and a little less KD, because and that's just for his like longevity's sake, and his dominance. But I think he's gonna get injured a lot in the legs if he keeps playing the way he's playing.
How would things be different? What if, and this is a what if question, what if Yao Ming had a healthy career?
Oh, man.
What if Yao Ming were injury-free? Would things have been different in terms of titles in Houston, for instance?
Yao Ming was a mixture of both. He can go inside and outside. And, Kenny made a great point about what you emulate. When I was coming up, Patrick Ewing was the guy. He was the guy. He played his back to the basket, boom, boom, drop step, boom, boom, jump hook.
Yep.
Every now and then, jab step, shoot the jumper.
Yeah, great post game.
That's all I had to go by. But, in the case of Yao Ming, he's 7'6", can post up, he can shoot the jumper. And I think if he wouldn't have had his, had to retire because of injury,
Ernie, he would
have been one of the greatest.
We were talking about
Yao actually in his early years before all the injuries, he reminded me a lot of a taller Hakeem Olajuwon, but he just didn't have all the finesse, But I saw him; his finesse was growing over time. But those injuries, man, those knees, once again, big men and legs, and even him, he was playing it. He was playing the game in the proper way. He wasn't out there at the perimeter doing crazy things. He was dominating the post. But also, you gave him enough space, 15 feet out, he's going to bust that jumper face up on you.
About Shaq when he was retiring last year. I think Shaquille staying healthy his whole career is one of the amazing things in NBA history. Because you look at guys, you look at Yao Ming, you look at Sabonis,
Bill Walton,
all these guys. Shaquille was bigger than all those guys. For him to stay healthy, it's one of the great freaks of nature.
Yeah. What about Wilt Chamberlain? Same thing.
What was your secret, Shaq?
Chuck, thank you for that comment. I'll give you your money back.
Is he going to say icy hot?
Not the secret I thought we had. We got to go. You're watching Open Court.
You're going to make me cry, man. You're going to make me fall off the bottle.
Oh, man, he had a perfect opportunity for an icy hot plug.
Like when you play basketball in the hood,
Derek Harper.
it's more just competitive. You ain't trying to hurt anybody's feelings. But Michael and Reggie and Gary Payton
KG.
and Labbird were the 4 best in my day.
KG's the one who took it too far. He didn't care. You know, the way we would talk in the parks in the 80s and the 90s, like that level of trash talk, that level of just sickness, that's what KG brought to the NBA, man. It's great.
I talked to you, my boy. You was my boy. Everybody on this panel was my boy except Kenny.
Except Kenny. Mad Max and Starks. Man, GP crazy.
Peyton and Jordan having some words, face to face. And Hopper guides Peyton away.
You know, the biggest thing for Gary Payton is I'm amazed he didn't get tired. Because he's running all over the court doing his thing, playing an NBA game, but he literally doesn't stop talking. He's talking to everybody, whether it's trash or not. He's talking to the refs, talking to the bench, talking to the other team's bench, talking to all the players. He doesn't stop talking. When does he have a chance to breathe? Like, basketball is a high cardio game. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. Show. Yo, what you got, Spike? I love this.
What were those magic words, Reggie?
Oh, I was wondering how the next movie was getting ready to come on. I'm just being a film critic, that's it.
Anyway, we're talking about talking smack, and we'll try to keep this this segment to its allotted time. But who was the
PG?
Who was the best? Who was the best? Who's the best? I guess best or worst trash talker.
GP. Okay, I think it's Larry Bird. All in all, I'm just gonna go with Larry Bird. Put your vote down below. I got Larry Bird because he just. I mean, what's worse than a guy saying, "Hey, I'm gonna grab the ball right here. I'm gonna take this shot. It's gonna swish, and we're gonna go home and win." You know, we won the game, so you know it's over, buddy. Like, what's worse than that?
I played with GP, I played against GP. He just didn't care. And the crazy thing about GP on the court, he was like that off the court. Like, if he saw you in the mall, maybe that time I crossed you up, big fella, I gave you that thing, you went up there, and you almost put your arm out of socket. You ain't call me, boy, I'm a Hall of Fame. I'm first ballot, boy, I'm first ballot.
Larry Bird, Michael, Gary Payton, and Reggie were the 4 guys that, but the thing that always annoyed me was trash talk used to be cool. The guys wasn't saying mean-spirited things.
KG.
They were just like, that's the way we grew up. Like, when you play basketball in the hood, it's more just competitive. You ain't trying to hurt anybody's feelings. But Michael and Reggie and Gary Payton and Labbird were the 4 best in my day.
Give me an example, Charles.
Yeah, because classic trash talk is just base. It is the Larry Bird kind of thing. He just went to a different level. But it is. You're telling the person you're going to bust their ass before you bust their ass, and you either back it up or you don't. If you don't back it up, you lose respect. You do back it up, you earn respect. This is just like it's like a video game.
Say, what one of the guys was saying?
No, what you would say. When you talk,
I'll tell you what he said. I'm playing him in Washington. I'm playing him in Washington, and he's a little older. I think it was maybe 4 more years in his career, but and I foul him. And I get away with it, come back down. And the next time, he's going off at the ref. He fouled me, and I'm like, I ain't fouling him. He over there crying. And the ref, he's like, he looked at the ref, he's like, I scored 24,000 points or something. I scored 20,000 points right here in this position. You gonna tell me he ain't fouled me? And the ref just shook. And I knew I was in trouble, because I was like, this ref, the ref was intimidated by his talk. But a lot of guys, like you said, it's not malicious, it's just what you're doing.
I just hated when a guy thought he could guard me, to be honest with you. I'm like, dude, Please, just work hard, but you can't stop me.
Yeah.
Should you earn the right to talk trash?
Oh, yeah.
No, I wouldn't call it talking trash. And yeah, definitely some people talk trash, but a lot of people just talk. I mean, I would add Reggie, Michael, but also Vernon Maxwell.
No.
Just talked and played.
Yeah.
I was a guy who always talked to get myself going, and I would go at somebody, especially like Shaq. We would go back and forth. Somebody that I knew, I would always talk. So I think the one thing is certain players talk trash, but certain players talked. I thought Reggie was a guy that talked, that got himself going.
That was the only reason why I talked, truthfully.
Get himself going.
I mean, there's times, especially at home, you're expected to win at home. You got all the advantages. But when you're on the road and it's 12 versus 15, 16,000, sometimes you got to have self-motivation. And a lot of times I would say things or make up things or come up with things with fans or with opposing players really just to get me going. It's never mean-spirited. And like Chuck says, this is how most of us grew up playing the game of basketball, was talking to one another, seeing who could best. It's almost like the Joneses.
Hey, what did you have to make up?
And it's true. It is self-motivation because you're setting an expectation. So if you're talking trash to your opponent or just talking, you now have something to live up to. If you don't, you lose respect, like I said earlier. So you got to go out there and perform. And it's what we do when we're training anyways and practicing by ourselves. We're talking, we're at least this is what I used to do, and I know a lot of other people used to do this. If you're alone, in order to motivate yourself, you're like the voice in your head. And if you're talking to yourself, it is as though that's the voice of your opponent or of someone training you or whatever the case may be. So you've got someone to beat, even though it's just a ghost. You've got a reason to step up and perform, because if not, that voice won the battle.
With John Starks.
That there was absolutely no way, positively, that he could guard me. He thought he could seriously guard me, and that's the whole point, because Pat Riley,
John Starks. Still, where you at, Don?
No, John's a good guy, hard worker.
We'll battle you. We'll battle you.
He can't guard you,
but
he's a good guy.
There was absolutely no way.
He's got a good sense of humor.
You must have said some really good things to get a headbutt.
But that's the whole point, because you're trying to get the advantage, and especially in a playoff series, if you can get a guy to his boiling point.
What did you say to get him to the boiling point?
I'm not going to tell you what I said, because this is a PG show, and that was X-rated.
But you did say something very interesting then. What he said, like, Ernie, most of the time is going back with the fans. Because the fans are the one, because most of the time, other players don't really talk trash as much as people think, but some of the stuff these fans say,
and get away with it.
Because I've always been a firm believer when I'm commissioner of the NBA that you should be able to go up in the stands. You should be able to go up in the stands and bring a fan. Seriously, I mean this sincerely too. So you should be able to go up in the stands, bring a fan down to half court. Say what you just said right now. Just right now. Please say what you just said.
See, I much prefer that than the current method of kick that guy out of the game. No, I like Charles' old school mentality. Come say that to my face.
I will say this.
That guy in Detroit, Leon the Barber.
And the guy in Washington.
Robin.
Yeah.
There's thing that annoyed me about him. I said, dude, y'all always suck. Because the bullets back.
He made it hard on us.
He did.
Yeah.
He got this guy. It was so funny with him. Like, he stand up right behind the bench and yell and scream and talk about you. Like, he would be telling, he'd know everything about every player too. I mean, he'd be funny. He like, Charles Jones, you went to Auburn State. You've been in the NBA for 14 years. Manute Bol, you're from Africa. You're from the Sudan. Terry Callis, you went to South. I mean, he would know his stuff, and it was almost he would never curse. But we'd always say, dude, your team sucks all the time.
But it hurt us. It hurt us because one time George Muresan's playing, and he does something like a layup or something. But he's like, Shaq, you are no George Muresan. You will never be George. And, the people are laughing, and, Shaq come down. He's like, man, relax, man. Chill.
I think there's some great stuff that comes from fans. There's some bad stuff, too, some idiotic stuff. But there's always some fans that come up with some good stuff. My favorite was playing with the Spurs, played with Kevin Willis, who you guys all know, one of the great guys of all time. And he's 42 years old at the time. And we're in Chicago. We're sitting there on the bench. There's a quiet moment. Fan right behind us goes, "Hey, Willis, are you single?" my grandma kind of likes you. And the whole bench burst out laughing. Kevin turns around, points to the guy, and just smiles. That's a good one.
You've been very quiet during this segment.
I love the stories, but you know, everybody who talked trash always had a little bit of screw loose. There was something a little bit there. Smitty talked a lot of trash, and there's like a lot of facial expressions. We used to have votes on the team, like who had the best facial expressions after baskets. Chris Webber won that. Like after he'd score and he'd run down.
That mean look,
Like we used to have votes on the team like that. But and again, as you said, the fans probably had the best trash talk than ever. You know, we used to have guys screaming out, "Oh, you guys got a good team. He's a stopper. Oh, he's a stopper. Oh, Harold Presley, he's a stopper. Every time he gets in the game, Coach L, stop it, Harold.
Hey, you spent a lot of nights, you and Michael, in close quarters, and he's a good talker. I mean,
We did.
So what would you hear from Michael?
You know, everything. I mean, from Michael, one time I know he started counting backwards. You know, he said something like 38, and I didn't get it, Reggie. You know what I mean? And he started saying 36. Wait a minute. So he's going backwards, and now if he gets
He's
to
like
zero,
a bomb ready to go off.
he got 40. But it was me and Michael had a lot of talks. So, it was fun. I love guys who talk. That's the way
I got a lot of my trash talking actually by growing up in LA and watching the Boston.
Oh
and
man,
the LA
but you didn't cut him off right there.
series was watching Larry Bird, because you mentioned he was, and you didn't assume that he talked, but you knew he was talking.
Oh, yeah.
Because him and Michael Cooper used to go at it all the time.
Right.
And to hear that Southern
I do
twang,
believe Larry Bird also said Michael Cooper was the greatest defender he's ever had to play against, as far as like who can guard him the best. So yeah, trash talk against those who you respect.
and to hear him talk trash, it was priceless.
Well, with
You
Brett,
ever laugh?
No,
You ever laugh?
yeah, you laugh all the
You
time.
laugh all the time.
My favorite Larry Bird trash talk story is, okay, it's the All-Star game, I forget where. So my teammate Leon Wood, he's one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. So we all sitting in the locker room getting loose, and Bird's not there yet. This one he had won like two or three of those in a row. So everybody's in there, all these great shooters. Bird walked in and says, "Hey guys, which one of you guys gonna come in second place?" And the guy's like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I'm gonna win the thing. I ain't not even worried about it. Who's gonna come in second place?" Man, you could. The room just went. All the air went out the room.
Yeah, and once again, like he might not have been that motivated. I forgot what his real story was. I know he was just like joking around, but then he says it, and then I know in the back of a mind of a guy like Larry Bird, he's going, "Ah, shit, now I got to deliver this." So he had to go out there and win. And then how disrespectful. He, in the most funny way, he went out there. Not only did he win, he didn't even take off his warm-up. That's the thing. Without even a word, a statement like this, to go out there and win like this, that's the most, that's better than any trash talk, that action he did.
Man, you could.
Not even
the
worth
room
his
just
time.
went. All the air went out the room. And I just said, "Yep, you guys in trouble now." Supreme
You
confidence.
know what? One time, and it's not even talking, one time we played the Bulls, and we get off, and we're in the playoffs, and we're in Washington. We get off the bus before the game, and Juwan and Jordan are cool. Jordan parks inside his Ferrari. We're getting off the bus, and he's smoking a cigar.
Before the game?
Before the game. And he's like, "Who's going to check me?" Everybody, and we let him down, but we all pointed at Calvin. Calvin Chaney. Now I think about it, he didn't say nothing. He was just, he planned it, but...
Michael was interested because, we played in college, and so I used to, sometimes before the game, before the night before, we, go eat or go to his hotel room, and he was really mad at Reggie Theus. Because when he got traded, when Reggie got traded, Michael was the draft pick coming in. And Reggie was like, "There's no guy who can replace me that's a rookie." So he said, "Just tell Reggie that I'm going to get 45 tonight." So I went to the locker room. I said, "Reggie." Michael said he's going to get 45 tonight.
So this is like trash talk with a middleman involved. The Michael Jordan method.
To the right, takes it in.
Got you.
Jordan steals
Reggie
the ball.
Theus is good,
Here's
by the way.
Michael Jordan on the drive. In on Joe Klein, all the way to the
Oh,
hoop.
damn.
A spectacular play by Michael Jordan.
So he ended up with 43. And so he comes into the locker room,
He said, I didn't get 45, but you got to come to Chicago. Like, now that's supreme college.
Yep.
That's supreme college. He was mad that he didn't get 45.
Close us out here, Steve. What was the best line you used on anybody?
Steve.
You know what? Somebody said it earlier. To be a trash talker, you got to be a great player. So I just listened. I just sat back and listened.
Why are you kidding
Sat
me?
back and listened.
Hey, he didn't talk trash though. I remember he was quiet.
Give me the ball.
I mean, he's a guy who made a living off of getting an open three off a double team of a better player. I'm sorry, I'm a big Steve Kerr fan, but that was his bread and butter. He's waiting. Double team on MJ, got the ball, shoot it. And in San Antonio, same thing, same situation, except for replace it with the bigs of Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Double team, I'm wide open, I'll hit the shot.
We're watching Open Court. Curious Tales.
Hey, 5, 4, 3.
Going down.
We going down.
MJ, calm down.
Hey, hold on. He get to 0.
My first pair of shoes always used to get me in trouble because they had a theme song with it. So every time I walked through school, kids would say, buddy, they make your feet feel fine. They cost $1.99.
Oh, man. This is why we do this at the end of the month, you guys.
Oh, he's pumping his shoes up.
It's good to just feel good and laugh and listen to good old stories.
Pumping up the shoes.
Oh, Deep Brown, the pump.
Julius Roy
Dude,
to the back.
I had a Payless. Okay, we couldn't afford the real Reebok pump. I really wanted the Reebok pumps. I was a big D Brown fan. I still have a box of cards, and I cut out a picture, I think it was from a Sports Illustrated or something, of D Brown doing that dunk, the forearm covering division dunk. I wanted a pair of these so bad, but we couldn't afford it. These were expensive. So I got a Payless shoe store knockoff with a tiny little basketball. Like, you see the size of the basketballs on there? Mine was like that big, and like it didn't pump anything, but it did, like, you could push in. So like in my brain, my childhood brain, I'm like, yeah, I got the pumps. I knew it wasn't it, but man, that's so funny. I forgot all about the Reebok pumps.
So he's got the favorite right there. He's pumping up the
Pump it
shoes.
up.
Julius roaring to the basket. Came up and
They also show up in white man can't jump.
Had to be offense. So here's Larry Bird chucking down the court. 5 seconds to go.
Baby Sky.
Dennis still out.
Oh man,
Oh, he breaks the house down.
is that Antoine Carr he dunked on? That's gonna hurt.
P.J. Brown got it. What a show.
Nice hustle, Chuck.
Barkley knocks down a few chairs, but he's all right.
Oh, reward the hustle.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks.
Shit, classic. Every time I watch it, hold on. It's like at the last second, he's going to go up an extra like 2 inches. I don't understand what happened there.
Yeah, it's got to be the shoes, and in this case, look at the baby Jordans. This is from a long time ago.
see.
My son Eric actually used to wear these bad boys, and then one day the Bulls were in town, and I said, Mike, you wouldn't mind signing these, would you? And they've been hanging in my office ever since. But it's always been special, has it not? For you guys get all the shoes you want, but I mean, when you're coming up.
You didn't get all
There's a point. Yeah, there's a point early on where you say, "Man, I do want to wear that pair of shoes." What was the first pair of shoes that really got you excited yet?
Man, I was a shoeholic. So I used to love the Clyde, the Pumas of Clyde.
Oh.
Because those were like, you could wear.
Puma.
And it looked like you were dressed up. When you wore regular clothes, you didn't even have to play. But the first pair of sneakers that to play in with a leather high top Adidas. Because it was like the first high top Adidas that came out.
The Superstars.
Before the Superstars.
Look at that smile on Bill's face. He's so happy. He's the happiest freaking basketball player I've ever seen. Also the happiest commentator I ever heard.
regular shell toe high top, because it was shell toes at that time was only low tops. And then when they made the first pair.
Top 10s?
The top.
Oh, that's before top 10. Top 10 before
Top 10 is what I grew up on.
Yeah,
I wore for 3 years straight, one pair.
Because, you know, we weren't financially, you know, supportive at the time, but it was the top 10s with the blue stripes. You know, those were the
See,
smaller ones. The
red, white,
top
blue
10s,
ones.
the high top.
See, this is when you go to the neighborhood. When you don't like.
How old are you talking about when you're wearing these?
I'm wearing these at like 12, 11, and 12. And this is when you go to the neighborhood and you say, Pops, he's gonna get one pair for you. But then the hood you go to the hood and go, listen, I'm trying to play ball. And then you local guys, they throw in and they'll get you 3 or 4 pair of sneakers, and then you have that
What hood are you going to?
You gotta go to the hood, baby.
I'm with you, Kenny.
You gotta go to the hood. Hey, Steve.
I'm with you.
You gotta get the dudes in the hood. They gotta say, yo, he's the ball player in the neighborhood.
Yes.
We gonna take care of him.
Hey, you know what's my first pair of shoes that I got were Chuck Taylors. Those were the bomb. But I
Low or high?
They wasn't the ball.
High.
Okay.
Oh, Chuck Taylor.
No,
was
we
the bomb.
played 4 years in high school with Chuck Taylor's, the cloth one.
I know.
They weren't the bomb.
You played in those?
4 years.
I didn't think you could play. You shouldn't play in Chuck Taylors.
That's what I said.
Wait a minute.
You can't play in
What do you think those guys, Bill Russell, those guys played?
Exactly, and that's why they all walk funny today. Because they had a show. Ask Bill Russell about that shoe. He'll be
So,
like,
you know, but I tell you what's funny. The first shoes I got excited for were Chuck Taylor. But I remember my first leather pair. And I don't know, we didn't live in your neighborhood. I remember my first leather pair vividly because my mom she came and knocked on the door of the dressing room after every game and took them. Because she gave them to me right before the game.
And took them right
after the game, because they had to last me the whole season. Now, I had to wear them the whole season.
Mom.
Now, once the season over, I could wear them, because you only got, we didn't have, in our hood, they didn't buy us. they didn't chip in.
Yeah. We weren't getting free shoes either. I didn't know anybody with, from my generation, I didn't know anybody with Jordans growing up. Like, none of us could afford that.
But I do. My friends used to make fun of me, but I still do. We're poor. These shoes got to last me the whole season. And they were awesome, though.
What was the story from your hood, Steve?
Well, the mean streets of Pacific Palisades.
Yeah.
We go down the south side to our boys.
On the south.
On the south side. There you go. There you go. Steve used to live next to Phil Knight.
So you said your mom didn't come and get the shoes after the game?
No, she didn't do that. No, but my first pair of sneakers was the Dr. J's.
Nice.
Remember they had the leather Dr. J's, the first one?
J.
I didn't get the leather ones. I got the pleather ones. They had the cheaper ones that were like, the fake leather, but they were still Dr. J's, and I was proud of those.
I got a feeling you got the leather one, Steve.
Yeah.
You know what? Unfortunately, I did not.
I did not. Everybody, Jim, the top 10s brings memories to me.
Yeah.
I think everybody, the All-Stars, but for me, there was a shoe that everybody in Detroit wanted, was a shell toe Adidas.
No question.
And if you could play, you played in low-top shell toe Adidas. It was just a sign that I don't have to go hard. So my whole thing is I don't need the high tops. I always wanted the low pair. When I finally got that low pair of shell toe Adidas, they put that bullseye on your back. So now you walked around with those shell toes Adidas. So those are the ones for me that I remember.
It's not
know
like
about that.
those,
You know about
those
that
original with just the three stripes.
The three stripes.
That's what exactly. And you know what? If I'm correct, Bill Cosby's original show, way back when he was the PE coach, that's what he was wearing. He wore those low cuts.
Listen, if you wore, like you said, if you wore leather sneakers when we, there it is, right here.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Nice.
Yeah, you got it. You can even wear it with a suit. Yeah.
But I'm saying, if you wore those growing up, like he said, the bullseye, because it meant that you were spending this much money to play basketball and to mess up your shoe. A leather shoe that at that time was like 30. That was $29.99. They didn't say 30 because they would sound like too much. $29.99 was the price of a shell toe Adidas. And if you spent that much on a shoe at that time, you had it going on.
Crazy. quick lesson in inflation. Nowadays, that's about 120. From $30 to 120. It's about 400% increase.
First pair of shoes always used to get me in trouble because they had a theme song with it. So every time I walked through school, kids would say, "Buddy, they make your feet feel fine. Buddy, they cost $1.99."
I know those buddy songs.
You know what, though? Hearing all this, it does make sense why after a little while, because, okay, Shaq had his Reebok contract, and honestly, it was like him, Penny, and MJ who had the 3 biggest selling shoes at the time. And eventually, the Shaqs were kind of off the market, and I think he had a deal with, I think it was Walmart, where he was making budget shoes that were like, $20, $30, $40. That way anybody can afford it. And, I think it was a great idea. I think it's a great idea. That way there's budget shoes. You still got the Shaq logo. It's still associated with a cool player, but your parents can actually afford it, in most neighborhoods. So I thought that was a cool idea. He probably made a lot less money by doing that, which is rare for Shaq, but I thought that was a good notion.
Call them skippers.
Yeah.
Buddies on up.
Buddies. Buddies was before my time.
With a big foot, too?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Hey, man. $1.99 for your size.
Yeah.
Hey, charge you extra? Nope.
Right, Ernie,
They found your size.
You talk about the Michael Jordan. Yeah. That's probably one of the greatest single things Michael Jordan ever did. He is the shoe generation. He was the first guy, like, nobody thought shoes were cool. People just want to play basketball and sneakers. But Michael Jordan started designing it. When Nike started doing his own shoes, everybody had to have them. I mean, that's probably the greatest thing he ever did for shoes. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he was the first one to make any athletic clothing stylish in any situation. And I don't mean just him, but his brand of shoes, and then his brand of clothing.
Me, the first shoe I had was the Adidas. The first shoe I really wanted was the Adidas Conductor with Patrick Ewing, and the leather ones, high top, the Conductor.
You didn't want the Ewings? You didn't get the Ewings?
I got the Ewings, the Adidas Conductors.
Okay.
Yeah, there was Ewings when he was, and I got the poster of him sitting on there. But just to talk about shoes real quick, every time you got shoes, you used to get a poster. So I had Chuck and the what do you call the
Supreme Court.
Or the really first shoe I really liked was the Air Max, the low tops with the black strap across. We wore at Michigan and Huarache. So when I really think of shoes, like you said, with Jordan,
But they used to give you a poster with the shoe.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like you get the Iceman sitting there.
That's cool.
With ice, and he had the bag.
Like George Gervin sitting on the block of ice.
Yeah.
But they don't even give you posters.
Yeah, give us some posters now.
I didn't know that. Guys, did you know that? I didn't know, like this is a classic poster. You got this for free. It was included with the shoe if you bought the Icemans.
Talking Nike.
As you went into the league, though, how many pair of shoes in a season would you go through? You remember when you're growing up.
He had
A pair is gonna a lot of guys use one pair of shoes per game.
Yeah, but that's just.
I wasn't that snobby.
But some guys.
I was the worst.
Well, Michael did.
I didn't like new shoes. I couldn't.
I was the worst. I wore in Vernon Maxwell and the Keem. I wore 4 pair of shoes the whole year, and I would put the whole season. But I would have my garage I would hoard the sneakers, man.
You were really trying to save.
And then wear them
So
all
you're not
summer.
giving the team your all. You're trying to steal
But
shoes.
I didn't like new shoes either. I liked the.
I never wore shoes in 82 games.
I would wear.
I never got
practices. I would wear
new shoes.
like,
Never
I get
bothered
what
me.
Kenny's saying too, though, because that's kind of what we did too. I mean, we didn't get great shoes. At least I didn't, and most of my friends didn't. But whatever you used for basketball, once the traction started wearing out, because we were playing outside a lot. Once the traction wore out, that's it. Now they're everyday shoes. They're your regular shoes, and you got to hope you can get a new pair of basketball shoes that have traction on them. Again, traction on the soles.
I
played more than 4.
I probably went through a pair. Nasty. It was nasty. Every 2 weeks.
How about you, the 22?
2 weeks.
Size 23?
Well, size 23, and as a CEO of my own company, I switched up every game.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
Some soul searching here on NBA TV. As
So you were
Open
like
Court
Steve when he was little then?
Just, there's Pacific Palisades.
There you go. That's nice.
Oh, man, look at that gangster Palisades.
And then when I turned around to him, he did me like that in front of everybody. And I looked up at my mom and dad, and
Was that Mutombo? Oh, no. Hope you guys are having a good time. I know it's a long video, but
How about
I'm having
a
a blast.
suit of armor? Don't you?
Oh!
In the corner for Ellie and
Yo, man. KJ. Man, check a move.
Anderson, tough shot, forced it. O'Neal, an offensive rebound.
Oh,
Banks
MJ.
reaching the block and the steal.
Oh, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, you fine. Bring your legs up.
What do I do now?
Oh, crap.
And here's Ricardo with the exclamation point. The great move around Barkley.
Oh, no.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Happy holidays from the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, man, I missed stuff like
And we
that.
welcome you back to Open Court on NBA TV. Okay, it is time. This segment is nothing but truth telling. This, I want no inhibitions here. I want you guys to come clean. I want the most embarrassing moment in your basketball lives. And this is one of those moments where you say, man, I'm glad nobody was videotaping that. I'm glad there's no evidence of this, but you are going to tell the story of your most embarrassing.
It's like that moment for LeBron James where he was at that camp or hosting that camp and that like high school kid stole the ball and dunked it and he deleted the evidence.
Moment. And you get to lead off, Chris.
And Kenny, it's not my timeout. Kenny just said it was the timeout, so I got to address it.
You gonna get it out early?
Just make sure NBA TV fans, TNT fans know Kenny said something smart, dude.
Yo, did you guys see the opening game this year with Houston? And Kevin Durant literally got away with that same thing that Chris Webber did, called a timeout when there was no timeout, but the ref never whistled the timeout and bailed him out of the situation, essentially. Like I watched that game live, and I'm like, even the announcers and everyone, all the players were like, what the hell? You know, like, what the hell, man? That should have been game right there.
No, I was playing against Terry Durod, and he was a fireman, and he used to play in the NBA, but he was a fireman. He played for Boston, and I remember he looked like he was pregnant because it was all fat right here, and I remember he was just holding the ball, and we were playing at St. Cecilia, and I'm young, I'm in college, I'm dunking on people, I'm making faces, everybody, and St. Cecilia's a gym where maybe 100 people on this side. What did you say, Steve? 100 people, but it's a wall right there. You can't even go out of bounds on that side because
it's all wall.
It's all wall. So Terry Durod keeps looking like this and pump faking me, and he makes a shot. I'm like, whatever. So the crowd's getting hyped. He does it again. Crowd's getting hyped. So he did something where he crosses me, and so he crosses me. I don't know what it was, and I fall a step back, and he hits a jump shot. Everybody, the 100 people from this side, run across the gym and smack the wall, and then go back and sit down. Yeah. So in the middle of the game, I'm like this, and you got to move because it's just people like, oh my God, and they're smacking the wall, and they go back and sit down. And you got to kind of be there to understand it. But if you could feel a whole arena praising somebody when they dogging you, getting up, running across the court, it's no timeout, it's no technicals or nothing. It's just the fact that everybody knows you just got showed up by a man 40 years old.
My most embarrassing
That's a cool
moment.
story. I never heard anything about anything similar to that. That's pretty cool.
I was just started playing basketball probably. It was like 10 years old.
Oh, come on.
And it was maybe our 5th game in a little local league. And it was our first close game. So we were playing in a close game, and the coach calls timeout. He said, okay, we're up. He said, we're going to take our time. We're going to run the clock out. We're going to sit on the ball and not let them have an opportunity to win. So, I'm 10 years old. I never heard certain phrases before. So I was like, okay, we're going to take it, time, get it into Kenny, and I'm going to sit on the ball, and we're going to run the clock out.
No, he doesn't. He's not going to sit on the ball, is he? Is he?
No.
So when they threw the ball in, I grabbed it and I shot. The team doesn't know what's going on, right? So everybody's like laughing in the gym, and then the kids are running at me. I get it up and put it, and the clock runs out. So my coach is just cracking Mr. Wilmot Benjamin. Mr. Benjamin's coming over to me, he said, one thing they'll never say about you, son, you're coachable.
He definitely listens.
Steve Kerr, it's your turn.
Well, I've had a few of them. I routinely got embarrassed by guys who were a lot faster than me, for sure. But I actually had to guard Michael.
I was going to say it has to be defense for Steve. Steve had a tough time on that defense.
I played in Cleveland for the Cavs for a few years and started about 20 straight games because Craig Elo was injured. And most nights it was all right. I could find somebody I could guard, but here we play the Bulls, and I got Michael. So we start out the game. I get the first shot of the game, first possession. He closes out on me. I knock down a jumper. I'm feeling pretty good. The next couple minutes, he's just kind of dumping the ball inside. We've played 5 minutes. He hasn't scored, and I'm kind of feeling pretty good about myself. And finally, I realized, well, he hasn't even shot yet. So he was just trying to get everybody else involved. Long story short, MJ. He finished with 48, and I finished with 2. It was like, bam, all of a sudden, it was like he decided, I'm gonna start scoring now, and I'm gonna guard the guy, and there was nothing I could do.
Shaq, did anything embarrassing ever happen in your
that was
career?
that winning formula for those championship years. Get the guys involved the first quarter, take over. And, that's it. You just take over afterwards.
I always took pride in being the big man that never got dunked on. So one time in New Jersey, because I'm from Newark, New Jersey, in front of all the fans, playing against Derek Coleman. And if you don't know Derek Coleman, he's left-handed. He's a beast. So Derek
I was a big fan of Derek Coleman.
And he takes 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, drop step, hit me with a little ball, and dunked it. And I didn't really know he dunked it until I came down and the ball hit me. And then when I turned around to him, he did me like that.
Hold on, I want to see that again real quick.
Hit me with a little.
Okay. Damn. Oh, I think the ball did fall on his face.
And I didn't really know he dunked it until I came down and the ball hit me. And then when I turned around to him, he did me like that in front of everybody. And I looked up at my mom and dad, and I went to the bench and I had a little tear in my eye. I was just sitting there like, oh, so mad.
That's awesome.
Well, look, I was Janet Jackson before the whole wardrobe malfunction.
Okay, wait a second.
This goes way back, too. This goes...
Wait. I don't know this story. Is one of his nuts gonna come out? What is this?
Way back before Janet Jackson, before the pasties and everything. Back to high school. Back to high school basketball.
Oh, I'm guessing someone's gonna pants him.
You might have got a phone number.
Thank God it was in the 80s. So
okay, even in the 80s, you definitely got a phone call.
It was close, but look, I was a freshman. I was playing JV basketball. I didn't think I was going to be able to get in. Look, I didn't think I was going to be able to get in.
Okay.
I had my uniform on, but I forgot to put my shorts on. And as you know, back then,
Wait, say that again?
Okay.
I had my uniform on, but I forgot to put my shorts on. And
I had my uniform on, but I forgot to put my shorts on. What? In high school?
You know back then, when you wore drop straps, you wore just a drop strap. There wasn't tights back then. It was a drop strap that showed your... It just had it over.
A jock strap. We know that.
I didn't think I was going to play. I'm riding the pine, and coach was like, Reg, you're in. I'm thinking... And I totally forgot because it's, fourth quarter. I get the score table, I take them off, and I'm like...
Then you were like, oh, it's bad.
Who's at the game, Red?
She started doing the Janet Jackson.
I didn't have a Justin Timberlake to cover my ass. I didn't have Justin to do this. It would just be like that.
Oh, man. He wins.
wins.
That's the most embarrassing story of them all. That is terrible, man.
Janet Jackson. Sorry.
Have we gone to Charles? Have we gone to Charles? Can you top this?
No, I can't top that. No. I don't remember that much embarrassing stuff. I remember though. I used to always say no. I never really felt like anything embarrassing. I remember when I first got to the NBA, I used to always say, "Well, nobody's going to dunk on me." And I don't even remember who it was, to be honest with you. And after you get dunked on like 10 or 11 times, you're like, oh, these other guys can play too. But everybody gets dunked on. And all young guys say, ain't nobody gonna dunk on me.
Ernie, what was your most embarrassing moment on television?
We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time to even go in there. I would think it would probably be at Paris Island.
Help me down here, boys. I'm dying.
Hey, good job.
No.
When we were down there.
It looks like his back is in pain.
And I couldn't.
The other thing, and we can get the video for it, is when you win the dunk contest in Atlanta.
Yeah. I think I've seen this.
Good call.
Look at his hair.
He was smoking
and I was actually wearing.
He missed it. The hoop is like 6 feet. Oh my God. I want to watch it again. It's
and I was actually wearing Dominique Wilkins shoes.
Shorts.
And I wore those were some really bad tight shorts.
Yeah,
but you know what? As bad
Diapers on.
as bad as that was.
Diapers on. That's true. Combine Ernie's story with Reggie's story, and that's it.
There was nowhere near Janet, I'll tell you that. Your brother played some big league baseball.
Yeah, and I grew up a huge baseball player. I was an all-world pitcher.
All-world.
Oh, snap. That was too good. Oh, man, I lost control there. Sorry, guys. I can't control that.
For more Open Court, check us out on NBA.com and NBA TV. Okay, so you all made your living playing basketball.
Where are we? 3 minutes.
Were you good at other sports, Shaq?
Well, I won the punt, pass, and kick contest.
Did you really? At what age?
Did you? 9.
Get the tape.
You were 6'2"?
How big were you?
He's like 6'5".
No, actually, I came in and I dominated so much that the other parents wanted to see my birth certificate. Because I was kicking that thing about 60 yards.
Tight spiral, too.
I was really great at backyard badminton.
Backyard badminton.
I used to spike that thing on all my cousins.
Very
I'm expecting at least one of these guys to say volleyball, because tall people in volleyball, it works.
I can only imagine. See, Webb, was there anything besides hoop?
Yeah, football. I wanted to play football growing up, so I think I was pretty good tight end.
Oh, yeah?
I can see that.
Did they throw a lot in high school?
They threw a lot, yeah. Especially when I was the same size I am now in high school. You get in the red zone, just post up. It was just like that, post up and throw it.
And he also was an artist.
Yeah, very. Unfortunately, that's not a sport. Reggie,
teach how to get you an F.
your brother played some big league baseball.
Yeah, and I grew up
with
a huge baseball player.
Yeah.
I was an all-world pitcher.
All-world.
I'm telling you, I could play Major League Baseball today.
Okay. That's left
Outfield. I could be an outfielder.
Bat left, throw right.
I bat left, throw right, which is odd. Which would be an advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
What would be your average though?
250, and I would make 100 million.
How many home runs did you have? 20?
No, I'm not a home run hitter. I'm just on base, steal. I'm that.
Just get it done. I do that.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of that. Okay.
I ain't really have any. I would say basketball is the second sport. That's it.
What was the first one?
Basketball. Horseshoes.
Nice.
Horseshoes, I was nice.
Okay, very good.
You know what? What else? What we play down in Orlando?
I'll go ahead and say mine before I forget. It was definitely football was my secondary sport. More of a wide receiver than anything else. A little bit of a running back, but once I got taller, it was definitely wide receiver all the way. I could play quarterback, but there were other guys who had definitely better spirals than I did. Baseball, I wouldn't really say. I was like Jose Canseco. I either cracked a home run or I struck out. So I didn't really like practice baseball a lot, you know. What else? I was pretty good at volleyball naturally. That was one of those things I showed up to make the volleyball team in like 8th grade or whatever. And I maybe played volleyball 10 times in my life. And I made the team, but I ended up not playing because I needed that time to play on the basketball. The basketball season was at the same time. But any other sports, track and field. Track and field would have been the secondary. Boy, could I sprint. I can hurdle. I can long jump. I could triple jump. I would have been killer in the relay. I would definitely say track and field when I was younger would have been my secondary sport. What about you guys?
We played
bocce ball.
Oh, yeah. You
bocce?
If you don't know the name of it, you probably wouldn't.
Not good.
Steve Kerr.
Baseball. I played baseball. We played in high school 2 years in a row. We got to Dodger Stadium, played in the city finals.
Oh, yeah. What position, Steve?
I was a pitcher.
So who was nicer, you or Reggie?
Well, he was all world, so there's no way.
What'd you hit on the gun, Steve?
Yeah.
Pretty good zip on your fastball?
They didn't have the gun back.
Oh, okay. Charles.
You know, I didn't play in it. I played football one day, and I realized that wasn't for me. That football and boxing are my two favorite sports, but it takes men to play those sports.
Did you ever box?
No.
I mean, officially?
No.
Okay.
But I tell you what, football, that was the longest day of my life. Then I realized after that one day it wasn't for me. But basketball's been the greatest thing that ever happened.
No backyard badminton against Shaq.
Somebody said he won a hot dog eating contest.
Why you looking at me? I ain't one to gossip, and I ain's the gossiping type. But Nathan's is
I put my money on Shaq.
He's new to the team. He's new to the team. We'll give him a little time. Let's see what he's at. Let's see what he's
Why
at.
is this about to end?
Let's see what he's
This is about to end. No. Oh, man. Why did it have to end like that? All right. Well, that's the end of that. I don't think we got to hear Kenny's. I don't think we got to hear Kenny's. What would Kenny say? Probably. I don't know. I got nothing on Kenny. I think he would say just basketball, to tell you the truth. All right, guys. No need for a long outro here. I can't even imagine. This is probably like over an hour long at this point. Those of you who stuck with me and watched this whole thing, yeah, you guys are awesome. This was a really good time. Good way to start out, or good way to close out the month with a lot of laughs and some cool stories and a lot of stuff I never even heard of. Heck, I gotta admit, I didn't even know Reggie Miller had a brother. I only knew about his sister Cheryl. So that was something new. I didn't know he played baseball. Steve Kerr played baseball, that stuff. I'll never forget the story of Reggie Miller and not wearing any shorts and just flashing everybody with his jockstrap on. Oh, man. All right, and my dog is barking, which is probably the indicator. Is it time for me to go? Girl? Girl, is it time for me to go? Yeah? No, that is probably just somebody at my door or something. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Man, I had a great time. All right. We march on to December. Guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out with me. Like the vid if you could. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Hit that subscribe plus if you want to support my channel. And most importantly, hey, be good. Thank you. Most importantly, it's to be water, my friends. Happy holidays.